Now we're back, and Nancy, what I'm going to do is you can do it two different ways. You can either cut the chicken up ahead of time, which I'm going to do, and then I'm going to put it in the broth, and I'm going to poach it. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just cut it up, right, in pieces, like bite-sized pieces, which makes it simple for you, and then you don't have to do it later.
Right. The more you can do ahead of time,
right,
the easier it is.
The better
that's
you
what I found
can do it. Now this is chicken tenderloins. I use usually pounded breast, okay, and I use organic chicken. I try to use as much organic as I can, because really my show is a healthy cooking show, so you really need to do it healthy. So I need you to turn on the stove for me, and you can put the timer on.
Okay.
And we're going to time this, okay? We're going to time this for about 10 minutes. We're going to cook and we're going to get this thing poached, okay? And the magic of television, I've already made another one so that we can have that as well.
Okay.
So I will let you know in just a minute. Now, I want you to show the stock that I use. It's right over there, and I want everybody to see this.
Right there.
You know, it's right behind you, Nancy. It's right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Sorry about that.
Anyhow, I usually make my own stock, okay? And the wonderful thing about when most chefs are cooking is they always use their cut up vegetables and their peelings, and they save them and they make their own stock. But if you don't have time, like most women don't have time anymore, you can go to the store and you can get wonderful broth. You can get it fat-free. But I like this product. And actually, Norris came out with a new stock that is to die for. And I like to use it all the time because it gets really wonderful flavor. And when you taste the chicken in a few minutes, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay.
It adds a lot to the recipe.
It gives it a really nice flavor. And whenever you can do something that's going to give anything really good flavor, you need to do that. Now, can I get that skillet from you for a minute? And we already.
It's a little hot.
Is it real hot? Okay.
A little hot.
A little hot. Okay, so it's not going to hurt here. So we're going to use this, and I've already started a little bit of chicken stock in there. Okay, and I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to use this. And remember when I told you that I was going to use the enzyme cleaner to clean everything off?
Yes.
Now, I want you to watch this when I get done. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this back on, and I want you, if you could add these to it, I'd really appreciate it. Your Telikin computer in the kitchen is awesome. Now we're watching how many minutes we have left on the chicken, right?
Yes.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to let that simmer for a few minutes until it's done, right? And in the meantime, if you could rinse this off for me, sure, I really appreciate it. And now we're going to make it easy on the peas. The peas are frozen peas that I've already put into the microwave for a few minutes, and we're going to serve them with that. And so as soon as this, actually I want to get this up to a boil, Nancy.
Okay.
And you need to put another one of those in there.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's really important. I always use 2. Now I like to use very light soups if I'm using soups. So I get the lightest soup I can, or I make it. But for tonight's show, we're using light mushroom soup and light cream of chicken soup that we're going to put into it. We're also going to put in, and I need those peppers for a minute. Okay. I just need the peppers. We're going to put that in. We're going to take and cut up some mushrooms and put mushrooms in. And sometimes I use water chestnuts, but tonight we're not going to use water chestnut. We're just going to use these wonderful, aren't these beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love peppers. They're so beautiful.
They add so much color.
Don't they?
And they're so nutritious. That's one of the things I love about peppers.
Right, and I think that's really important. So what I usually do is I cut it like this. All right, so I'm going to take this out, right? Okay. And on this part, I'm going to put in the bag oil, right? And then I'm going to slice it down like this. And usually what you do with peppers, okay, is see what I'm doing here? I'm getting rid of this part of the pepper very easily. You can use your hand if you want to, but I just kind of make it easy for myself. Okay, because I make pepper soup too. How about that?
That sounds great.
Does that sound good?
That sounds really yummy.
I know. I like vegetables. When I lived in the Mediterranean, I want you to know something. I ate more vegetables than I did meat, which is really important. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to slice these just like that. Okay, now I'm going to do the orange one. Oh, I love this color. This is beautiful. Put that in here. All right. And you can clean it out just like that too. All right, and this is such a simple recipe. I can't even tell you. I love doing this. And you know, I got to tell you the story of how it happened. I was on a ski weekend with my husband, Bill, and we used to live in Massachusetts. And we went up to New Hampshire, and my friend said, "Oh, you have to learn how to ski." I said, "How about cross-country skiing? What do you think about that?" And I thought, that's a little safer for me, you know. So my boss said, right before I left, and I used to be in advertising. I used to be an advertising manager for a newspaper. Okay. And back then we didn't have, we had computers, but we were just getting into computers as far as laying out ads, right?
Okay.
So what happened was, she said, "No, I don't want you to break your arm or leg."
My goodness.
No, I think she jinxed
you.
She definitely jinxed me. Oh yeah, she did. So anyhow, what she did, so I get out on we're taking a lesson, okay? Did the lesson, and there was a group, it was kind of icy that day, and there was a group of people on a bus, right? And these people on the bus got off the bus and they clipped the back of my skis, and I flew up in the air and I fell on my arm and I couldn't get out of the skis.
That does not sound good.
Now, Bill, of course, thinking that I didn't do anything, and the ski instructor said, "Oh, get up, you can take this lesson still, you're fine, just dust yourself off." Right. Well, I started to go back like this, and guess what? I couldn't do it.
The arm didn't
I couldn't do
it.
It wasn't even funny, okay? So he said, "Well, you go sit down and have a cup of coffee or something." And on that note, we got a break. And I'll tell you the rest of the story
Okay.
on the Chef You and I in just a moment.
We'll be right back with Catherine on the Chef You and I after this short break.